Bank of America, a big originator of home loans, and today that company posted a surge in profits. The nation's second largest bank said that higher revenue from its trading division and lots of cost cutting helped boost its bottom line. Today's report pushed the stock to multi-year highs. But while the earnings look was good on the surface, the bank's troubled past may not be completely behind it. Kayla Tausche is with us tonight covering the story for us. So how different is Bank of America today compared to where it was? Is it in better shape financially?
It's far healthier, Bill, than it was several years ago, than it was even a year ago. Just in this most recent quarter, Bank of America got 200,000 bad loans off of its books. It also shifted $1 billion in legal reserves that it had to cover some of those loans from those reserves into its normal balance sheet. They've had a lot of legal costs, but it does look like now they're returning capital to shareholders. They're starting to invest in the business again, and they're meeting all the regulatory capital ratios that they need to. This is a far healthier company.
But let's talk a little bit more about some of these legal costs, because they still are not all resolved, and they have a big chunk, $8.5 billion, something like that. So, I mean, what could go wrong in that area?
Well, let's be clear. They've already reserved or put aside $8.5 billion to cover that settlement, which was from a couple years ago. It's still in court right now. There's expected to be a ruling from the judge on whether that $8.5 billion is enough, whether it needs to be higher. It could go higher. That could be costly for Bank of America. We expect a decision on that in a couple months. But remember, this is a bank that has spent nearly $50 billion to get out of the woods with a lot of these issues from the financial crisis. It's spent a lot of money. The good news is it's near the end. It can count on one hand the number of lawsuits that are outstanding. That doesn't sound like a great thing, but it is for a bank that's had this type of troubled past.
That's for sure. Now, when you compare it to its rivals, Citi, J.P. Morgan Chase, revenue wasn't as strong for B of A. What's the difference there? Why?
Bank of America is one of the banks that was hit the hardest by the low rate environment. We know what happened the last 2 weeks of June. There was incredible volatility as people were wondering what Ben Bernanke and what the Federal Reserve would do with its policy. Bank of America, I guess, had very competitive rates on their loans, very low rates on those loans, didn't make as much in interest revenue as they had previously. They also had some volatility on the fixed income trading side. They lost some money there where some of their peers actually fared better.
Real quick question. Brian Moynihan, who's a CEO, he's been under attack all these years. Could he turn the bank around? Does he have board support? Does he have a strategy that investors like?
He has board support. He's built the board to a broader group of financial executives with restructuring expertise, with expertise turning around a big, unwieldy company into something that actually can be a profit machine. He's hired a lot of people in the investment bank to do more deals with big corporations when they're ready to do them. He's putting more loan officers in the branches, even though they have fewer branches, hoping that when consumers start to borrow again, they'll borrow with Bank of America.
An amazing story.
Kayla Tausche, thanks for spending part of your birthday with us tonight.
Thank you.